Hey everybody, and welcome back to Lindsey's Little Library. So I figured if I just had Stormy here from the get-go, maybe he wouldn't knock over the piles of books and hit my camera this time, but I don't know, we'll see. Anyways, today's video is kind of something fun that I thought of very kind of last minute. And it kind of stemmed from a few friends that I've been talking to lately, and I have recently gotten them hooked on a very cool website called Book Outlet, which a lot of you probably know about. It's a really great place to buy new or maybe slightly damaged, but mainly new books for very deep discounts. As you know, we are in the middle of this stay-at-home orders, at least we are here in Wisconsin, and our libraries are closed. And yes, there are online ways to read books and listen to books like Hoopla and Libby, and those are great, but sometimes you just need a book. Our free little libraries they're doing a good job, but I mean, we're on week for this, and maybe we're starting to run out of ideas. I'm not, but some people are. So I thought, as I was introducing some of these people to Book Outlet, it can be a little overwhelming when you first go on there because there's so many books to shift through. So I thought I would take today and go through a list of books I think you guys should buy on Book Outlet. They're actually having a shelf care sale going on right now. So all of their books are an additional 15% off right now, which is pretty decent, I'm not gonna lie. And maybe throughout this and doing some research looking for these books for you guys, I might have placed another order. I guess you'll have to wait and see. But so it's an additional 15% off. It says for a limited time. I was trying to figure out if it expires at a certain time, and there really isn't a date that I could find. So maybe don't wait and just go buy. If you want $10 off your order and you've never ordered from Book Outlet before, I have a link in the description that I'm basically referring you to it, and you get 10 bucks off. So that's also another bargain, and it's free shipping if you spend $35 or more. So, I mean, all good things, right? So here's my stack of books. If you're looking to buy something off of Book Outlet and you need something to read, here are some books that are currently available. The majority of them have good numbers out there. There's a couple that are maybe less than 10 that are left. So I'll try to remember which ones they were and tell you, but most of them have plenty in stock. And as far as price goes, the majority of them are around that $6 to $7 mark. Some are cheaper. Some are, I think the most expensive one I found was $9.68 for a hardcover book. That's still not bad. So let's get started, okay? Here's my first one I think you need to go buy. One of the things I do on Book Outlet is I look up my favorite authors on a regular basis. Now, Jodi's books, I have the majority of them already, but that's because I got them on Book Outlet. Not a big secret. And the way you can tell is there's usually a black dot on the bottom of the books. So this is one of them I got off there, and currently Sing You Home as well as 19 Minutes is available on Book Outlet. Both are fantastic books. Jodi is a wonderful author that makes you think. You get sucked into these books and you can't help but not think about them. No, you can't help but think about them all of the time. She always gives you some sort of situation that's a bit controversial that you thought you knew which side of the line you would land on, and then you're like, wait a second, I never thought of that. So, fantastic author. Currently 2 books out there. There's Sing You Home, this one, as well as 19 Minutes. I highly recommend both of them. Another thing I love Book Outlet for is if I get addicted to a series, because most of the time you can find a good bulk of the series on Book Outlet. So currently a series that's on there that is in completion, all 3 books are on there, is Walk on Earth a Stranger by Carson. This follows our main character who has an ability to sense gold, and she is living during the gold rush. So you get a little historical fiction aspect of it, as well as a little magical realism part of it. And there's 3 books. They're all on there, and these are super cheap right now. They're only like $4 or $5 a piece for hardcovers. They're awesome. And I think there's a good amount of all of them still there. So it is YA, but it's still an adventure. It's a gold-seeking adventure. It's fantastic. Go get this book. The other one that is on there as well is Scythe by Neal Shusterman, as well as the next book, Thunderhead, which I have right there. I'm currently reading this book. I am almost done, and oh, it's amazing. It is amazing. This is perfect right now because I'm completely sucked into this world, which has nothing to do with what we're experiencing right now. It's a whole different thing. So it helps that I'm able to escape right now. Another YA book, but this basically happens and takes place in the future. And we as a society have been able to abolish all diseases, which wouldn't that be fantastic right now? Abolish all diseases, abolish all accidents, like we cannot die as people. And so we still have to have some population control, otherwise I can't imagine. So there are scythes, and they go around and determine who is going to die, and they call it gleaning, or they kill them basically. And this follows the story of two apprentices that are kind of learning or training on how to be a scythe. It's fantastic. I love it, love it, love it. But if you're looking for series book outlets, a great place to go and look for a series. If you're looking for a good one to get lost in, all 3 books are on there right now. So both good. All right, so let's keep going with some favorites, right? Next one I have is The Hating Game by Sally Thorne. This is kind of your typical hate to love rom-com type of a book. So we have our 2 main characters, Lucy and Josh. They just can't stand each other. They work right by each other, and things go from there. Awesome, really quick read, as well as this one is also on there right now. If you have not read Christina Lauren, go buy this book right now, please. Love in Other Words, it's what, $6.45 right now. This follows our 2 main characters, Macy and Elliot. This is a dual timeline. I just talked about this not that long ago in another video, but you find out that Macy and Elliot are the best of friends and they never spend time apart. And then you see the future and they hardly even know each other. And so you're kind of trying to figure out what has happened between the 2 of them. Elliot is like my favorite #1 bookish boyfriend. I think he's an amazing character. I love him. Everyone needs an Elliot in his world, or in your world. But both of these are on there right now. So if you're looking for something lighter to read, here is your go-to. All right, I think I touched on a little bit of historical, but if we're looking for historical reads, and this is by far not all of them, this is just what I've been able to find kind of quickly this morning, but The Haunting of Maddy Clare by Simone St. James is on there. I've recently fallen in love with Simone St. James. She wrote The Broken Girls. She wrote The Sundown Motel. This is one of her earlier books, taking place in the 1920s. So it's an interesting time because it's post-World War I, but pre-World War II. So very interesting timing. And you follow a young woman who's she doesn't really have a job. She's trying to make ends meet, and she works for a temp agency that she gets, through the temp agency, gets hired by this very rich, very handsome veteran named Alistair to basically go and investigate this ghost named Maddy Clare. And it's fantastic, and it's short, and it's gorgeous, and I love it. Another historical fiction happens to be probably one of my favorite World War II historical fiction books is Secrets of a Charmed Life by Susan Meisner. This has dual timelines, which should have been in my other recommendation video, but that's all right. Dual timelines. We have Kendra, who is kind of out there pursuing her perfect life, and she's in this situation where she has to interview this woman named Isabel McFarland. She's somebody who has secrets from the war that she's not told anybody about, but is now kind of revealing them to Isabel. And you find out that in the 1940s, she's revealing them to Kendra. So Isabel, during the 1940s, her and her sister were living in London, and they had to basically escape and go. They were sent away as children to avoid the war, and it follows that whole story, and it's so beautiful. It's fantastic. Highly recommend this book. Both of them are on there right now, and I want to say they're around $6. They're not super expensive. The next one, I don't know how you feel about timing, but it is a Charles Dickens. It's a Christmas Carol retelling. It is available on there. I really, really enjoyed this book. It's The Afterlife of Holly Chase by Cynthia Hand. Basically follows Charles Dickens' A Christmas Carol. When Holly is in her 20s, she's visited by 3 ghosts on Christmas Eve. The ghost of the past, present, and future. They try to convince her to change her ways. She doesn't. So then she dies. And then she has to be part of this whole charade. I don't remember if she becomes the ghost of Christmas past. So it's a really, really easy read, a really good book. If you're looking to completely escape, maybe get into some holiday spirit, this would be great. Or if you just want to pick it up and keep it for later, pick this one up now. I highly, highly recommend that one. All right, back to kind of fantasy, but with a little, I don't want to say thriller, but yeah, there's thrillerish parts. It's a little scary, I'm not gonna lie. I have a couple of recommendations that are available right now. So we've got The Hazelwood by Melissa Elbert. This follows our main character, Alice, and her mom kind of live on their life on the road. They always have to be a step ahead of bad luck, and they're trying to just kind of stay off the grid, out of the spotlight, and avoid this bad luck that has been following them for years. Until Alice's mom is kidnapped. Alice doesn't know much about her past other than she knows that her grandma wrote The Hazelwood. It was a book that was very creepy, not a lot of copies out there, had a very interesting following. She doesn't know much about it until her mother is kidnapped and basically finds out she's been taken to the Hazelwood. And now Alice needs to go find her mom and discover kind of these secrets of her past. Very whimsical, very fairy tale-ish, but creepy. It's fantastic. I really liked it. The other one I have for you is The Wicked Deep by Shea Ernshaw. This follows the story of the Swan sisters. There's 3 sisters that kind of haunt this town in Oregon every autumn. They come back. So, okay, they were executed for crimes of witchcraft and they put a curse on the town, and every year they kind of come back and kill somebody. So it's awesome. And this cover, oh, and wait, you just wait. You ready? Gorgeous. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. So highly suggest that. And the next 2 are thrillers that I have for you. I have Final Girls by Riley Sagar. If you haven't read a Riley Sagar book yet, he's fantastic. You need to pick up this book. Did I write down how much this one was? I didn't. But like I said, nothing is more. I think the most expensive one I found was $9.68. So not more than that. This follows 3 girls who were left alive when they really shouldn't have been. So a number of other people were murdered. These 3 girls were left alive, not at the same time. It's 3 different crimes. So they're the 3 final girls until they start getting picked off. And it's awesome. That's all I'm going to tell you. Then we have Jar of Hearts by Jennifer Hillier. This is dual timeline. So we have present day where our main character is getting released from prison soon. Her name is Angela. No, that's who disappeared. Georgina is the one who's getting released from prison for the murder of her best friend Angelina years and years ago. But then you go back in time to when this actually took place and kind of understanding how it all comes together. And I'm not going to tell you more because it's a thriller and I don't want to spoil anything, but it is fantastic. So that's on there. And then a couple books I've read that I don't have because I'm loaning a couple out for sure that I know of. So You by Caroline Kepnes is also on Book Outlet right now. That has been turned into a show on Netflix, but is about a stalker and you are reading it from his perspective, which messes with you. It messes with you in a fantastic way. So that's on there as well. And also Miracle Creek by Angie Kim. and I just read that not that long ago and a couple months ago. I love this book because you are thrown into the drama from page 1. You are thrown into this trial, and you're given this little pieces of information as you read this, and you're trying to put this stuff together about this really horrendous accident that killed some people, and you're just trying to figure out along with everybody else what the heck happened. It's fantastic. Angie Kim does a wonderful job of building that story. So that is also on there right now. I think that's all the ones that I found this morning, and there are plenty of more. There are plenty more. I love browsing on Book Outlet because I tend to find books that I don't see other places. The other thing I like to get off of Book Outlet is activity books for the kids. For example, I know they have some Brain Quest workbooks on there. This happens to be, I think this is my son's. He's in 1st grade, but you know, 2nd grade's not bad either. So we have that. I've gotten the coloring books off of there. I've gotten different activity books off of there. They have such a wide selection and variety of books. It's fantastic. So I do want to put the disclosure out there. Book Outlet did not ask me to make this. I'm not getting anything from them. This is just purely me trying to help you buy some books. That's all I'm here for. So wouldn't it be great if they did? They do have Vlogger Friends on there, which I do check out their recommendations every so often. So you can always check that out as well. I think it's under the social tab on bookoutlet.com. So anyways, if you do plan on going on and buying some and you need some other recommendations, let me know, comment, email me, whatever. I can definitely help you do some book shopping. Otherwise, stay safe, like, comment, subscribe, and we will talk to you next time. Bye.